Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Definitive Edition looks fine, to be honest, and we're going to talk about why. Now, I know off the bat a lot of people were obviously going to be hoping that we would get some sort of remastered edition of the previous games that looked a lot like Red Dead Redemption or GTA 5 does, but that was never going to be the case, was it? I think what they have done with this is made a very educated bet. On the one side of things, they could have went all the way to the new extremes and really cost themselves a lot of time and money, or they could have done what they've done, which is put it all into a nice new feel and look, but at the same time capture the essence of the games released in that era. And the reason I say this is quite simply, GTA originally was a top-down, 2D looking, pixelated piece of crap. Don't get me wrong, it was a great game. I loved all of the original GTAs. I even loved GTA London, obviously, being from London. I love what they were doing with them, and they were a lot of fun to play at my babysitter's house where he had illegally downloaded them because I wasn't old enough to get my hands on them at all and didn't even own any way of playing them at that point in time. But when we moved over to GTA 3, we really took a step forward in technology, and then again we done the same thing around GTA 4, arguably. I feel like these are the biggest steps forward that Rockstar have made, moving into obviously 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 being the pinnacle of what Rockstar can currently output on current gen consoles and PC. But there were 3 phases, and we had a massive jump from the original GTA series into GTA 3. This was really where things started to look like, oh, okay, we've actually got something here. This isn't just a crime simulator. This is a real city simulator to a degree. And it was great. We had a lot of fun playing the titles such as GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. And don't forget all of the extra content that came along with Vice City as well. Some really, really fun things. However, if you think that this definitive edition doesn't look that good, then nostalgia has your memory blocked. I mean, even looking at the before and after shots, you go, oh yeah, it doesn't look as bad as I remember. If you go back and play those games on the original consoles, I shit you not, Tommy Vercetti looked like someone had doodled a face onto a potato. And we loved it. We enjoyed it. Things looked good enough at that point in time that it worked really well. And in our heads, the nostalgia makes us think, you know what? Those games look like real life to me, but I guarantee, go and play them now, they don't. In fact, I've done that. I played all of the games on my phone, and they look pretty damn good for a mobile game. But overall, what they're promising and delivering with the definitive edition, I think is very, very smart. They've given it a uniformed look that leans a bit more into the sort of cartoony nature. I genuinely still feel that when these games first came out, GTA was a little bit more tongue-in-cheek than it's become. I think they've taken themselves a little bit too seriously in recent times. Yes, I'm aware you can buy stuff like nuclear subs and all of the crazy things you can do on GTA 5, but overall, I mean, it's definitely a little less tongue-in-cheek and a little bit more like, look at our graphical capabilities and what we can actually do with this sort of city simulation, and I have no problem with that at all. I love looking at great mods and seeing what people can actually do with the engine and seeing the best of the best, but at the same time, I think this was a very good way of uniforming the look, and I kind of like the cartoony style. I think it's a smart way to deal with a lot of the insanity that they deal with in these games. I think it's a good way of softening the blow of violence and backlash and things that they've had over the years, and probably things they have to adhere to some degree, just being able to release games in this day and age. But overall, what they have done is given it a look that I'm overall on board with, and that's not a bad idea. They had to go with something, and I think it's captured the essence really well. And at the same time, there's a fair few things in here that actually look quite realistic. Like, they've done great things like capture atmosphere well. Like this shot where it changes, both have rain in them, but one of them actually starts to create an atmosphere. The other one just tells your brain, oh, I'm looking at what's meant to be a rain scene right here. You know? Subtle changes, but smart changes. Do I think it's worth £60? No, I do not. But that's a completely different video. Me talking about how I think Rockstar is pumping everybody for money is not the same as if I think this definitive edition looks great. And I personally think it does. I will look forward to revisiting all of these classic scenarios, missions, characters, all of the good stuff that we grew up with in a slightly better lick of paint. I will, when it goes on sale and I'm not paying full price for it. Let me know in the comments what you think and feel, but I hadn't seen the trailer yet. I went and watched the trailer. I was expecting it to be absolute garbage because I saw a lot of people online kind of mocking it. I saw a lot of people saying, oh yeah, but this is what the Mafia remake looks like and blah blah. Yeah, that's all well and good, mate. They remade one game. This is them having to uniform 3 different games, a look and style that varies across the board, but at the same time definitely does have a baseline. They've taken that baseline and amplified it in a way that I don't think is offensive and will make this sit nicely in the current era while still having that sort of charm that the old GTA games have anytime you revisit them. That's the video from me, man. Take care of yourselves, look out for each other as always. Please do leave a like, comment your opinions, and all of that good stuff. Share the video, whatever, man. Whatever a YouTuber says at the end of the video, I'm going to end this video by saying, ah, shit. Here we go again.